Hey everyone, I just wanted to do a quick live. I'm trying to go live every day this week and next in anticipation for the Back to School Summit. If you haven't registered yet, we are actually running out of seats pretty soon because once we get to 1,000 registrants, we either have to get a new room, so we're gonna have to figure out what to do with that. But it's backtoschool.co if you haven't joined yet. We have 12 parenting experts that are all going to be talking about different things. It's not all COVID related, but today somebody had asked, I had sent out a request for questions over my texting platform. So if you have a question, you can text the word parenting to 31996. And that will give you the opportunity to send a question in. So I'll answer another question tomorrow. So if you want, text parenting to 31996. I'm in my car today because I'm rounding at the hospital seeing newborns. And I'll probably stop when it gets too hot because I did not turn my car on because then it messes up the sound and everything. And I should have rolled the windows down before I started because it's getting a little bit warm. Today's question, though, was about extracurricular activities. And is now the time to resume dance or lessons or soccer or basketball or football or those sort of things? And this is a question that I have struggled with because I want kids to be able to do fun things. I want them to do things where they get to connect and do activities and learn and grow and all of those things. But the long short of it is my answer is no, not right now. Now, it varies by location, but in our city, we are at about 6 cases per 100,000, which is still in the red in terms of the UNMC, which is our local medical institution that has provided a lot of insight and ideas in the Johns Hopkins values. We're above 5 per 100,000. And if we're coming down, so I think we're going to see a continued drop in the next few weeks. But what I know is that we just did back to school. And when I was driving here today, there were tons of people taking pictures because some schools went back to school today. Some went back last week. And what we want to do is keep kids in school as long as possible. And what's going to get in the way of that is if we start having more and more cases. We know that there will be new cases with the start of school, but we want to try and optimize things. Everybody felt like, okay, it's May, we must be over this. It's summer. Let's go back to normal activities. It's whatever holiday is in May, Memorial Day, the 4th of July. And then across the country and in our local area, there was a huge spike, worse than ever. 1,500 deaths per day last week was a high in our country. And so we didn't stop doing our normal life long enough for things to improve. And now we are in back to school, not where we could have been if everybody had taken it more seriously the first time around. And so I think because of that, now is not the time to say, let's go back and do sports or dance or all these activities where you're in groups outside of school, commingling with other kids that go to different schools. I think we just need a few weeks at least to get to the point where we know we can be in school, kids can wear masks, kids can be safe, and we don't have a huge surge. What will happen is if we're all in dance from different schools and different age groups and everything like that, and there's an exposure in the classroom, or there's an exposure in school, or there's an exposure at dance, then we're going to quickly have that spiral to, even if kids don't get COVID or they don't get super sick, because we know that most kids with COVID don't get super sick, what we're going to see is, well, we're going to have to quarantine, and we're going to have to quarantine 2 schools or 3 schools or 3 classrooms or all these different combinations because they were exposed at this outdoor setting or outside of school setting. So for the next few weeks, let's wait on going back to our normal activities and see how things go. And I promise to update you after Labor Day, sometime in early September, about extracurricular activities. I love extracurricular activities for kids. I think it's great. But I think school is more important, and I think most parents, if they had to pick either back to school or back to soccer, they would pick back to school because it's much more important for families to get back to school so that kids are learning, that parents can work, that we can restore some normalcy. And I fear that we might give up that opportunity to be back in school if we jump right back into school plus extracurricular activities. Let's let the numbers go down a little bit further and then make that decision as we approach fall and winter. But right now is not the time to be returning to all the extracurricular activities that we did. If you're going to, mask, social distance, do outdoor things where they can be separated from each other. I would not suggest doing indoor things at this point. One, because it's like beautiful weather outside, and why not do extracurricular activities that are outside able. Two, because I just don't think we're ready. And so I would say wait. I would say wait a few more weeks. We're going to be busy with back to school. Why not, instead of trying to cram it all in and busy up the schedules, just start back to school with, we go to school and then we play at home. We've been playing at home for a while. We're used to it now. We know how to have fun at home as a family or go on walks and those sorts of things. Let's just relish that for a little bit longer before we introduce another element to it. So I would love your feedback. What do you think? What are you excited to get your kids back into and wondering when it's okay to do? You can comment below. You can send me a message. If you have another question, text the word parenting, PARENTING, to 31996, and you can submit your question, and I'll do another live tomorrow. But as you can probably tell, it's getting a little warm in my car. I will tell you, like I said at the top of this, Back to School Summit is next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 p.m. Even if you can't make it live to all of the sessions, you'll get the recordings if you join. We are running low on seats because we're almost at 1,000 now, and so at 1,000 we're going to have to decide what to do. So save your seat now. Go to backtoschool.co and register. You get all 3 nights of talks live where you can show up and interact with all the other parents, but you also get a replay too. So if you want to catch them later, you can catch them later and get that valuable information on your time, or refer back to it and say, I remember that parenting expert was talking about this and I need to refer back to it. Boom, right there. You can watch it anytime for the next year. Keep up the good work, and let me know what you think of this. I think this will be a fun way to get my message out to more parents, and I like Instagram Live, so have a good day.